Hey guys, if you've been watching anime for a while, then you had probably heard of those occasional edgy animes that traditionally get released every few years. You know, animes like Mirai Nikki, Hellsing, or Akame ga Kill, where the premise is dark, eerie, and you can feel the glaring edge as you're watching through the show. Recently though, thanks to hugely successful and beloved shows like AOT or Chainsaw Man, even though they technically fall under the edgy category, they've managed to gather a huge fan following and become mainstream, which has in turn normalized the entire landscape of edgy or dark-themed animes. But, guys, who cares about all these popular animes, right? When I'm looking for edgy animes, I'm specifically looking for dumpster fires where I can turn off my brain and laugh at how entertaining the show is. I want to feel like I'm losing IQ after each passing second. And what if I told you that there's an anime this season that could fill that gaping hole we all have in our hearts? And also our under area. Guys, I present to you The Kingdom of Ruins. The Kingdom of Ruins is set in a world where witches with powerful magic exist and have been using their supernatural powers for the betterment of mankind. But advanced scientific revolutions within technology slowly resulted in the witches becoming obsolete, and humanity's naturally starting to fear the unexplainable powers that witches contain. And so the Redia Empire orders to have all witches eradicated using some weird-ass magic suppression device that they somehow made? The story begins with Adonis, a young human boy who's the apprentice of the witch Chloe, and we're following their journey of escaping from the human empire. The anime starts off rather wholesomely with flashbacks of how Chloe found and saved Adonis in the past and is concerned about his future. Adonis himself is also worried about his teacher because she's a witch and being hunted down. Ah yes, such a wholesome story. Nothing could possibly go wrong. And then, 5 minutes later, shit goes from 0 to 100 and she's fucking held at gunpoint, stripped in front of the Empire, and gets fucking eradicated while Adonis is being held down and watching everything unfold amidst all the crowds cheering for his beloved teacher's death. And these bitches have the audacity to not execute him as well? Like, bitch, please, do you expect him to not carry this grudge for the rest of his life? Why would your stupid ass leave a walking nuclear bomb like him alive? This has to be a contender for one of the worst anime decisions of all time. He's an apprentice of a powerful witch, so shouldn't we kill him now, just to be sure? Nah, I'm sure nothing wrong will happen. Just lock him up in prison. So what if he escapes from prison? Nah, we'd win. Trust me, everything will be just fine.
10 years later.
Jeez, what a fucking surprise! Who could have seen that coming? Adonis escapes from prison, and thanks to him training for the past 10 years in prison and reciting his hatred for human as if it's the fucking Bible, he starts the fucking rumbling onto the Redia Empire. Bro thinks he's Eren Yeager. Usually in animes where main characters make a decision to commit genocide or do fucked up shit, there's always a theme about what's truly right or wrong, and I love these kinds of clashes in ideology, you know? I love it when anime questions morality and requires us to think and understand the motivation of each character behind their actions. But not for this one. When I saw him absolutely fucking obliterating the Empire with its people, I've never felt so damn satisfied. They had this shit coming to them and we were all waiting for it to happen. And not only does bro think he's Eren, he's also like Yagamiing all over the place with how he's writing down all his spells. Gato would be proud of how he's manhandling all these
filthy monkey
on his own. And it's also during this entire sequence that they introduce the main female protagonist of the story, Noroka, and we find out that she's actually a witch, just like Adonis' teacher. And then the Empire decides to reactivate their magic suppression device bullshit, then Adonis straight up fucking... But it's revealed that the device that they were using had some weird-ass magical particle that is toxic when exposed to humans, so they have technically been accidentally packing up their own kind all this time. Ha! Stupid monkeys. And, plot twist, it turns out that Adonis isn't dead, because thanks to some voodoo magic bullshit, he was transported to a different location, and here he finds out about an entire witch society. Just chilling on the surface of the moon, you know, just watching everything happen 10 years ago without doing anything. So, little Adonis here was obviously very pissed off at the witches residing here that didn't try to save or avenge his teacher. But he then decides to cool his anger off like a good boy and follows through with their plan. And then nothing bad happened. Bro didn't let the witches slide. They also have to pay for not doing anything about Chloe's death. And so, he lured the humans to the witch society and have them engage in a fun little battle royale. 10 minutes later, everyone is dead except for Alois and Doroka. This little bitch Doroka really tries to convince him to change his ways after he committed mass genocide on both the humans and her witch friends. Witch of love? More like witch of delusions? No, like seriously. He's responsible for the death of all your friends. What are you thinking? Anyways, after that, they make it back to Earth and Doroka decides to follow Adonis on his journey. I've read and caught up to the latest chapter of the manga, and so far it seems like Adonis' motivation for his journey has been quite vague. Like, don't get me wrong, he still despises humanity, but he's just been going around to other civilizations, exploring and doing random shit with Doroka. Don't get me wrong, I want to see him eradicate humanity as much as the next guy, but I also want to see him grow as a person and get that sweet character development, while still retaining his hatred, that is. If you've made it all the way here, then you deserve a round of applause. Kingdom of Ruins has a great premise and such an interesting world. Its first episode was a total banger and definitely worth watching. But I'll have to admit that the show falls off from there. Personally, I would treat it as a turn your brain off show. But what do you think about the show? If you've watched it, then what are your thoughts? And if you haven't, then maybe after this video, you've probably got a better idea on whether it's your cup of tea or not. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.